Howdy y'all, and welcome to the 10 at 10 for May 30th of 2024. It's almost the end of May. We had a phenomenal open house here, guys, and the fun doesn't stop. The 10 at 10s are really getting special from here on out.
Hey guys, I'm Tim. That's my brother Matt. We're MrMaple.com, that family mail order business. We ship directly to your door, and we're going to talk about 11 of the 20 trees getting listed today on today's 10 at 10. Check out the other 9 in today's email. You can sign up for that on MrMaple.com.
We're so excited about today's trees. We couldn't just do 10. We threw an extra one in. Guys, let's kick things off with a big one a lot of people have been waiting for here. It's Angel the Prince. Now, I recently saw somebody online say Mr. Maple changed the name on this. No, we didn't, y'all. Mr. Maple always keeps it exactly the way the nomenclature was given to us. I have seen this tree sold as Dark Prince and as Angel the Prince of Darkness. Neither are the original name. Angel the Prince, the way we're keeping it.
Yeah, Angel the Prince, selected by one of our good friends. It has this upright habit, this really dense habit, twisting colors, and it's really dark in the early spring.
Yeah, I love the purple border this gets. It gets almost a Sumagaki-like border. We throw it in that Mikawa-like family. It's a little more like Taroyama, though, than Mikawa. So if you're familiar with Taroyama, it has more of that twisting style foliage. Almost fits in a little bit with Kurnajishi as well, that kind of category. I love this plant. I love its density. I love its texture. Everybody gets excited about this one. That dark kind of evergreeny green color really brings out that bright purple border. So that's where that Prince of Darkness can kind of come in a little bit. You definitely get some darker vibes out of this one for a Mikawa style.
Yeah, this one here will end up getting about 6 to 8 foot in 10 years. Very compact in its habit, making it a small Japanese maple for your garden. For me, this is one that just has some amazing spring colors. I know Brian and Joe have captured this thing in the early spring with just some immaculate colors.
This one will sell out quickly today. There is a big list of people waiting on this one. So if you have this one in cart, go ahead and check out. Maybe add something secondary. We can always recombine your order. There are several items on today's 10 at 10 that will be gone pretty quick, even though there are decent numbers in them. All right, y'all, here's another one that Matt and Tim named at Mr. Maple. It is Looking Glass Falls.
Yeah, Looking Glass Falls is a weeping selection named after a local waterfall. In Japan, they often do that. We decided to do this traditional kind of thing and name it after a local waterfall here. And this tree just has this heavily cascading habit. And in the early spring, it's got a nice red border around the leaf.
Yeah, this one also has that purple border. We got a theme going today. We had Angel the Prince, now we got Looking Glass Falls, both great purple border trees. This one has an accentuated border in the early spring. You'll get a little bit of that on new growth during the summer, but it's most pronounced in the early spring. Extremely weeping. This one is pendulous like Ryusei. Stake it up to about 5 to 6 feet tall, let it weep down from there. If you let it leaf out slower, so if you're not putting this in heavy sun and you're leafing it out a slower amount, you'll get a more pronounced border later into the season. In our heavy shade here, they've already washed out to more of a green. Great orangey red fall color on this one as well, but that border really sets it apart from other Ryusen styles. I think it really gives it an interesting niche to it, especially when you get that border over the entire tree.
Now these are grafted at about 4 to 6 inches in height and cascading down, so they've a fairly low graft overall. This is a great tree that you can use as a container plant, or you can use it in one of those hanging baskets and let it cascade out of the hanging basket. If you want to grow this up and let it cascade down in that fountain effect, you can actually stake this up. We've got a whole video on staking a Japanese maple. That's a great way to grow this tree as well.
I filmed that video after a long, sweaty day of unloading trucks, and I look super tired. All right, y'all, what's up next? We've got Sawa Shidori, another classic coming back to the table.
Yeah, Sawa Shidori, it's been a while since we offered this tree. It will sell out fast today. This is a reticulated type in the early spring. It's a white with bright green veins. Yeah, beautiful tree. Love that reticulation it gets to it. Really fun. You know, not a huge tree either, in that 6 to 8 foot range in 10 years. Beautiful fall colors on this one. It's going to really look great with a lot of your Go Series top trees as well. So it kind of brings out some different colors, gives you something more unique in that category. It has a very crisp leaf to it too. The edges don't have much serrations to the foliage. And so it's really interesting. The new growth fleshes get a nice coral pink to it. And this has a pretty nice, strong, upright habit, which has impressed me for those reticulated types, because there's so many of them that have that semi-pendulous. It just is one that stands out.
You said foliage wrong. You said foliage. Everybody in the comments, I'm kidding. Don't eat me alive, comment section. I love this plant. You're going to love it too for its foliage. Outstanding plant. Put it in the container or in the ground. That smaller overall shape makes it look great. And I think you're going to enjoy this one. Again, it's been in some heavy shade. Getting this one outside the greenhouses is going to make it more colorful.
Guys, we've got a Festivus, Acepromatum Festival.
All right, y'all, this is one a lot of people have been waiting on. If you were here Memorial Day, you saw Talon Buchholz present for over an hour and a half on his introductions, A to Z, guys. Festival made the list. He talked about this one actually being a seedling from Amber Ghost, which is pretty cool. Now, why he selected this one, it is his favorite fall color tree, maybe of all time. Now, he spoke really highly of green tea, but he said this was one of the most striking fall colors he's ever seen, and it just continued to just like weigh on his conscience until he put a name on it. He kept seeing it every fall, and he kept saying that is just miraculous. Now, what this is famous for is yellows with splashes of red throughout it. So you get that festival of color going on in the fall. Now in the spring it is a green with some light green veining to it. Gets a nice flush to it, but that fall color really makes festival special.
Now I know when we went to Japan, they had festivals based on the fall color. So the name is very fitting. I mean, this thing just puts on a multitude of colors, so you can throw on a celebration in the fall. That's such an awesome thing to do. Festival, a nice upright green, gives you a summery feel in the landscape and garden. Excellent for something that's going to give you a dynamic change in that fall. Something great for traditional Japanese gardening. Festival, an awesome plant you should try out.
One day we're going to take the MrMaple Show back to Karanke. Tim and I were on a Japanese TV show. We went to Karanke, and it has the Festival of Lights, and there are over, I would say, over 10,000 Japanese maples on this mountainside, and they're all in fall color with white lights to yellow lights underneath them, and all the trees are just glowing, y'all. It is amazing. And I loved how much it is a festival for everybody. There's food trucks. Everybody's out there just having a party, enjoying this fall color. It's a family environment, but it's just the coolest setting. And everybody's like people are on a date and they're like, let's just walk around, look at the Japanese maples in fall. What a cool thing to be thinking about. You can make a mini version of that with this, get you some white, yellow lighting, put it out on your festival in the fall. This thing will absolutely glow whether you put it under lights at night or not. The fall color is extremely special.
I know when we went to that festival, they had, the very first time I tried fried Oreos.
Yeah, they walked up,
it's like from the United States, fried Oreos. I was like, I think I'll try it.
I feel like I have to try this now.
I'm also from the United States and I haven't tried this.
I feel targeted. I should have this. My favorite thing though was the pork belly. The pork belly skewers.
Ooh, man. Those were awesome.
If you ever get a chance to go to a Japanese festival and you get to go to Japanese food trucks, they are like so next level. It was already street food, and Japanese street food is so amazing. And the food trucks at that festival were something special. Guys, we're bringing back the OG from the very first video on MrMaple. We got Acepromatum Seiho.
Yeah, Seiho, we have a video that says the ultimate bonsai, and the reason we think it's awesome for bonsai is it has really small foliage, it's vigorous at a young age, and it gets very dense. So you've got a lot to work with. Take one of these trees, plant in the ground, and do your rooted cuttings off of that to then produce more bonsai from.
Another reason why we like this one for bonsai, and we're no bonsai experts here. Tim and I grow trees for a living, but we're not bonsai masters. But one of the things I like about this one, the pinchback method gives you really small foliage. It already has some of the smallest foliage out there, but also this tree puts on a lot of density from within. Where a lot of your small Kiyohime types are more of a toadstool, Seiho is more of a rounded ball and you get a lot of structure from within. Now, if you're a bonsai guy, that gives you a lot to play with. So you can play with all that shape and density, fills out quite quickly for that. This tree also just looks great if you just put it in a container or in the ground. It's a perfect tree for a planter. Get you a colorful planter. Let this crazy purple border with this chartreuse green eye in the spring light up your garden. It looks great on a patio or on a deck. Now, Seiho is exceptionally sun tolerant too, so it's going to work zones 5 through 9. I definitely recommend some shade in your zone 9 settings. Anywhere you got a container, actually give that container some afternoon sun protection. But I love Seiho for what it brings to the table. It's a small, compact tree, but it packs a lot of color.
Now, one of the things that I like too about this tree is you can actually do this in a mass planting. You can plant 3 or 5 of these in a row, and it gives a new dynamic with this sort of ball shape. A nice little shrub, Japanese maple, fits in small spaces, and can be used in fun ways.
Man, there's a lot of hitters on the day's 10 at 10. Y'all check out quickly. They'll be coming to the 10 at 10 at 10 a.m. We always have that guy in the comment section that says it's not listed yet. That's because it's got to wait till 10 a.m. Eastern, y'all. And we'll also be bringing you Yellow Cascade.
We already had one weeper in this group. We've got a second weeper. Yellow Cascade is a selection by Talon Buchholz that gives you that butter yellow color and that strongly, heavily cascading habit.
You'll never be happier to see a weeper. Love this tree. That cascading umbrella shape gives it a perfect color. Now, we went and did a full breakdown at Buchholz Nursery on Yellow Cascade. We show the original Yellow Cascade as well as the original Golden Falls, and we talk about how they're different. Now, for me, this one is a little bit more of a creamier color, like Tim was saying, the butter, and then the Golden Falls is a little bit more of a Katsura type color. I absolutely love this one. Again, great for a container. Like the other Ryusei styles, stake it up to about 5 to 6 feet tall, let it weep down. great orangey fall colors on this one as well.
Now we've got two different styles offered today. We have what we consider a low graft. These are grafted at about 2.5 inches. And we also have a high graft, which is about 6 to 8 inches. And those are going to cascade downward from that point. The high graft starts you at a little bit higher point. The low grafts may be a little bit older and a little bit fuller. We've got a bunch of these right now, and this is such a great tree to add that yellow color in the landscape. Yellow contrasts with everything. And that's the reason I love using it. Contrast to your greens, your reds. You put this in those dark spots, it's going to brighten it up. This is such a fun tree to use. And again, some of these low grafts make a great hanging basket or container tree.
Yeah, this one's great, y'all. I love to give it into a little early morning sun in the summer to get a little bit more bleached out look. Now, you're definitely going to need to give this some protection from the hot afternoon sun in your hotter zones. It is going to work zones 5 through 9 as well. And you can manipulate the shapes of this one a ton. I mean, just like Ryusun, you can train this one to go over an archway or lots of different things. So get as creative as you want with this one as it ages. Absolutely love it. I think you're going to love the color pattern that it brings and the contrast you can have if you grab your Golden Falls and pair it with a yellow Cascade.
Guys, next up, we've got Cersei's Carolina Sweetheart.
Okay, everybody was after this one. We had these at open house, y'all. They almost sold out in person. We did save a set just for you guys online. This is one of my favorite Redbuds. I think this one actually gets a little overlooked. We love some of the other newer ones, but don't forget about Carolina Sweetheart. It is some of the best pink colors. This one, I mean, people were literally fighting over this one at open house. My mother come up intentionally and was like, don't forget to get me a Carolina Sweetheart. Now, maybe because her first grandbaby's name is Carolina, but this is such an extravagant tree. I know a lot of people, even in the West Coast, were ordering this one, got to get it back home. People are like, I got to get this one for my wife. I love that pink color on it. One of our most popular trees at open house, Carolina Sweetheart. I love the pink shades you get. You kind of get these weird malting colors. I mean, it almost reminds you almost like a begonia. Like we joke about begonias here sometimes, but the color on this one is reminiscent of that.
Now, Carolina Sweetheart was developed by our good friend Dr. Tom Rainey of NC State University at the Horticultural Research Station out in Mills River. NC State has developed some of the best redbuds in the world between Dr. Tom Rainey and Dennis Werner. And this one is just a showstopper with the pink and white variegation on that maroon to green foliage. I mean, the heart-shaped leaves just draw you in, and it just speaks to you, and the variegation and the contrast, it makes a bold statement in the landscape.
Now, this one will sell out today, guys, quickly. We have a good sized set of this one. I will say that this one's become a little bit more rare to find in the trade, it feels, lately. So don't wait on this one if you're after one. These do ship in our medium boxes. They are 1.5s or true 1 gallons, so it's a good sized plant. Absolutely love these. Get them in some sunlight. They're going to work in sun up to zone 8. They're very durable, and they'll surprise you. They're fast growers. The flowers, the colors, the textures are really just quite exquisite. Especially, it's one of those plants that almost looks its best in like late summer. Like the Redbuds they're gorgeous now, but that new growth looks so crazy in like August, like late July, August, that kind of time frame. It's almost like that's like the Redbud peak color for the foliage.
Now, when you get this tree, you get an amazing Redbud, but you also get these cool root maker pots. They're super thick, super dense, so you can use again later. Put on roots on a plant pretty quickly.
Grab you a Carolina Sweetheart today. On today's 10 at 10, they will go very quickly, y'all. All right, we've already had one yellow. We're bringing out another yellow. It's Orange Dream, guys, in some big old sizes. These are some XL ones.
Yeah, Orange Dream, a selection by Fratelli Ghirardelli in Italy. This is one of the very first yellow Japanese maples. Give this tree some protection from the hot afternoon sun, but push that sunlight exposure to get the bleached out yellow effects that makes Orange Dream so famous.
If I were going to eat a tree, I'd probably pick Orange Dream. It sounds delicious. It looks delicious. I like the pink new growth on it. The greener older growth, the orangey color you can get if you push this one into some sun. Great orange fall color. I mean, I'm not a beaver or anything. I wouldn't eat a tree, but if I were going to eat a tree, I'd probably pick Orange Dream.
It is pretty dreamy. This is such an awesome tree to use out in the landscape. 6 to 8 foot in 10 years. I mean, a nice dense upright habit. Can give you some really nice bold pinks to bold reds in the fall. This is a tree that's rocked it out each and every season.
Yeah, guys, give this one some shade in your hotter zones as well. Doesn't want to be in full exposure like in Texas or something. Giving this one heavy shades in your hotter zones will give you better colors. If you can give it early morning sun, you'll get this crazy two-tone look, especially in early spring, where you get a lot of pink, bleached out white growth over top of the yellow. Really a fun plant to be growing. And some excellent size 1 gallon Orange Dream.
Next up, we've got Thuga occidentalis. That's right, it's a native. And this is a selection called Philippe's Magic Moment.
Yeah, you've seen between two ferns from Zach Galifianakis. We've got between two arborvitaes today. Guys, these are exceptional for that golden yellow. They're gonna be in that 8 to 10 foot range, but only about 4 foot wide. So nice compact habit to it. And it really brings it for that bright yellow.
Yeah, I love this because it gives you that evergreen interest. It's basically something that you can change, you know, instead of using those dwarf Alberta spruces, use one of these arborvitaes. They can go in shade, they can go in sun, and it's extremely durable. And this will give you that spark of yellow color as an evergreen year round.
All right, let's check out some big sizes, y'all. And we're back.
Guys, next up, we've got some 10 gallons of Acer palmatum viridis, also known as Waterfall.
Beautiful plant. JD Veritrees in his archive says he finds Waterfall and viridis to be indistinguishable. I'm sticking with that guy's opinion. I love this plant. We do offer both at our farm, but I do think they're indistinguishable. Love the peak yellowish orange color you get on this one in the fall. It's some of the craziest fall color of them all. I love how durable this is. It's going to work zones 5 through 9. I've been growing this one for years in full sun in areas like Columbia, South Carolina, so it soaks up the heat. It loves it in the deep south. It's exceptionally durable. Typically about 5 feet tall, about 6 feet wide, with that big cascading umbrella shape. Grab you a Waterfall today, y'all, in some big sizes.
Now, if you missed last week's 10 at 10, you probably didn't hear about us shipping these 10 gallons. We're so excited to be able to ship this larger tree to you. We've done some trials. We've shipped them all the way to California. And we're excited now to finally be able to offer these 10 gallons through mail order.
Yeah, these 10-gallon boxes are a game changer. You guys have been wanting bigger size for a while. I mean, well-established, nice-sized plants, y'all. These will be headed out to you. You can order these, and we've got great shipping rates on these as well. You can always add them to cart, then see what your price is exactly to your address. We calculate that exactly. And Tim and I negotiate all the time with FedEx and UPS to get those prices as low as possible. I think you'll be impressed with the size, price, and shipping on our Big Tens. And we're back. All right, y'all, we did it. We got Mikawa Yatsubusa in the 10-gallon size, coming at you mail order here today.
Yeah, Mikawa Yatsubusa, one of our favorite Japanese maples. This thing has that tightly dense layering habit. It's a slow grower, but it makes it a beautiful tree out there in the landscape. I know my wife's aunt helps us. She's one of the people who drives the golf cart at the open house. And she says, I love that Muppet tree. That's one of my favorite trees in the world. She's actually got a 1 gallon going down her walkway to her house, and she's just in love with it. She saw these 10 gallons, she was like, oh my goodness. So she's super excited about these too. But guys, these 10 gallons give you that Mikawa in a larger size right now that we can mail order and ship directly to your door.
This tree's covered in seed. They're great looking plants. Excellent sizes, excellent shapes. We can't guarantee all your trees have seed, by the way, but this one does. Excellent size. These are already seeding, so you can get you some Mikawa seedlings if possible. They're definitely at that age range where they're mature enough to. I absolutely love what Mikawa does. That fall color, that orangey, fiery red is exceptional.
Yeah, this is one of those trees that does great in containers, does great in small places in the garden. It makes a bold statement that makes it look like a bonsai out there in the garden. It has this unique structure, this tight layering habit. It's a tree you're going to fall in love with more and more every day as you see it, and every day it's going to get more beautiful.
One of the most heat-tolerant trees we do as well. This one can handle a good bit of sun in Zone 8, guys. Great sizes. Put this one in a patio planter, put it in the ground. We're shipping y'all some big 10-gallon Mikawa Yatsubusas. That's 11 of the 10 trees, y'all. If you hadn't already checked the email, there's another 9 sneaking up on you in that email. You'll have to check the email to see what secret trees lie in the email today.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.